All right, I didn't last very long with it, but I think it's time we tone down that blue a bit. So as you can see, I kind of unlocked the ability to do any color in the paint, and I chose something just a little less bright. While I do like the blue, I think it's a bit much for this space. There's too much of it. It is the kind of blue I would probably enjoy in like a bathroom or something on a smaller scale so that it's not quite just so much. And with that said, I think I'm liking this blue a lot better. I do kind of like the two blues together, and I did momentarily debate doing like different colors, like some of the walls in the lighter and some in the darker, but I couldn't really decide how I wanted to do that. So for now, we're just doing this. I am also thinking of trying like a wainscoting type effect. But yeah, I don't know. I felt like fixing this place up a bit more now that we've unlocked some additional tools. Now, in order to unlock the extra paint colors, I did have to give up my wider roller, so that's kind of why I got a head start on the painting before I chimed in. Actually, kind of surprised how easy it is to do stuff behind things right now. I kind of expected that to be more of a problem than it is, but yeah, I might have to move some things. I think our biggest issue obviously is going to be the floor. This is something that I pretty much knew was going to happen. All right, rearrange the furniture a little bit so we can make our job a little easier. And yeah, I think I'm definitely liking this blue a little better. I don't know if it's the exact blue I would have chosen. Options were definitely there, but I think it's going to suit all of the light colors that we're using here in this room and kind of just provide a nice backdrop for it. And I think while we have things out of the way, I want to get started on the floor. I have a lot of different styles that I enjoy, and a lot of times with darker paint, I prefer to have lighter floors to kind of brighten it up and lighter trim. But a lot of times that doesn't necessarily function well with the colors that are in the room. I have all of the light colored wood going on in here, and I think if we put a light floor down, it's going to be too much of that light and the furniture will kind of disappear. So I'm leaning toward a darker floor. The Brazilian walnut and the light beech are probably appealing to me the most. I don't really enjoy the heavy grain here. It's too dark for me. I do really like the dark beech, but I think that's going to be too red for what I'm creating here. The European walnut also looking pretty good, although maybe a bit too much grain there as well. I think we'll give this a try and see how I feel about it. Yeah, I don't think I'm loving it. Let's try the European, see how it looks. I think the green is just too small there, actually. And it looks, yeah, this looks better. This is, I wasn't sure from the picture representation there, but yeah, this I think is going to be more my style. I like the existing color of the floor. I just am not personally a fan of things that have a very busy pattern. The parquet style floors, not my thing personally. I think in the entryway, I'm going to do a tile and kind of a similar color, probably a lighter version of this blue or maybe a green of some sort that accents it or goes well with it. I'm not quite sure. It's tempting to tile part of the lower part as well. Entryways, at least where I live, can get quite gross and lots of, mud and snow and that sort of thing. So having a bit of buffer that's easy to clean would be pretty nice in a lot of entryways or mudrooms. There isn't really a mudroom on this house, so that would be the main entrance. I mean, I guess there is kind of coming in from the garage, but yeah, I'm thinking I'm preferring it this way. And I actually think that looks really nice with the floors. I'm not 100% on our furniture choices now as far as the wood tones here. I'm actually thinking a color might look better. I think my personal preference for this space is going to be to have the floor go all the way through the entire room. This is something that we're planning for our own home as well. And I think for me, I like that look better. I like separating the space with furniture and pieces, and allowing the room to be changeable if you want it to be. Being able to just move things around to redesignate the spaces, to me, makes that much more usable and kind of more interesting. I just discovered pizza under a counter, or under the fridge would be more accurate. Yeah. Okay, to me, this beam looks like a proper header, making this unnecessary. So I am going to remove it and hope that I don't make mistakes. Yeah, that's much better. I don't like having like large columns like that breaking up the space. It just didn't feel right, especially when we do have the header there. That kind of helps separate the space. I am debating like a half wall through here so that I can put cabinets along here as well. I don't think that a like seating area like this really works well in this space because the table that we're using is like right up against it. If we had a wall, then we could literally put the table up against that wall and have the two chairs to the sides, kind of create like a little nook of sorts. I think we'll go to about, I think that will be high enough. Oh, even though I just got done saying that this felt like a nice sturdy header, I'm going to remove half of it so that it's the same width as the wall. I just feel like it doesn't need to be quite so large. Now, I don't know if that's going to make a lot of sense. I suppose I should have brought it over one. That might have worked better, actually. But I think it will work just like that. Let me take a peek at that. Now, ideally, if we could have something, I don't know. I'm not really sure yet on how I feel about all of this, but these do need to go because we won't be using that space anymore. I'm wondering actually if I could bring this back one, but then I'm afraid I'll lose valuable space here, but it might actually work better. My main concern is the cabinetry. It's not like in a grid type placement, so we have specific pieces that we need to fit in and make it work. So without knowing how that's going to work, I'm not quite sure yet on placement. All right, just finishing touches on the paint here. And after a bit of consideration, I do think I'm going to pull all of this out and build the wall just a little bit, just one notch over. I think that's going to work better. Okay, so using the fridge as a guide for how wide to make these sections, I decided to kind of frame the space. I'm a little unsure yet on this half wall situation. I'm actually thinking of removing that and just creating an L-shaped kitchen. I don't think we need a huge kitchen here. It's not like the biggest house, so I don't think that's necessary. And it just kind of frames the space. I think, yeah, we could have the fridge here, the sink under here, probably the stove nearby. Yeah, I don't hate it. It was a small kitchen either way we look at it, so I think that's hopefully going to work for us. Yeah, I think I'm liking that better already. I moved the lamp over here. I know it's a bit in the way. I'm not 100% sure on it here, but I definitely wanted it more on that side. It felt like too much was crammed into this corner. I think I might end up putting a small lamp on here just to kind of bring some light into that corner and maybe some plants up on there. I'm thinking, I'm not hating this. I do not have the ability to copy a style, and I'm wondering, no, I need to be able to undo. Okay, I went a little smaller on the rug when I repurchased it, and also was looking at these, and I'm not loving that blue. I actually just realized that there is a green fringe on here, and not loving that either. Okay, we'll buy a second rug here, and I'll sell that one with the weird green trim. And then I think I'm going to repurchase those chairs, but do the same gray color on the seats. Yeah, I think I like that better. The gray looks really good with the blue. Now, as far as this unfinished edge, I'm going to be making that tiled to go with the kitchen. I just realized I need to paint that edge. Luckily, I held on to my paint so that I didn't have to buy any more. But we'll just go ahead and paint that a little bit. And I just figured the tiled top would fit well with whatever's going on in the kitchen. Obviously, I can change that at any point if I decide I prefer something better. But I think that is a start. Now let's take a look at this kitchen because this desperately needs some new tile. Now this is probably, well, we're going to experiment here and see how it looks. But what I've decided to try is a black tile. It's actually more of a gray, and it's the same shade as what we have on the rug and this chair. I thought that as you're looking through, it would look really kind of cool to see that black kind of accented against the blue. Now, it's not going to be all black. I do plan to use probably white cabinetry. I think that's going to look the best. Just kind of bring some lightness to what is very clearly going to be a very dark finish type kitchen. So I just, just thought I'd have a little fun with it. I'm trying to make design choices that I would not necessarily make in my own home, just to kind of change things up and experiment a bit and see if maybe I might find some looks and styles that I could make use of. It is definitely stark, not necessarily what I would normally consider a kitchen tile, so I'm still unsure on how this is going to work, but it feels very modern, and I kind of feel like that is the general look of the house, so I think it works in my opinion, but I do think I'm going to paint the top of this. I just think it'll look better. I'm also going to go ahead and sell this fridge because I want to, apparently there was a plate in the fridge. I want to kind of bring in the blue into here, and I'm hoping that I can find a blue that is at least very similar to the walls in the rest of the rooms so that we can kind of bring that blue color into here. I feel like that was not a coherent sentence. Apparently me trying to paint and come up with coherent sentences at the same time is not my forte. Hi, my future self, because no one else cleans here. Relatable. Okay, one thing also kind of driving me crazy is the ceilings, especially since I'd made some adjustments to the walls. So I'm going to go ahead and paint those just a basic white. I think that's going to look the best. Oh, thank goodness we got another painting perk so I can make a bigger roller, because painting that much ceiling is taking a long time. There we go. Much better. I think the best part of painting this ceiling is getting rid of that popcorn type texture. It definitely dates the house, in my opinion. I don't think I personally necessarily minded the wood trim, but I don't think it fits the more modern look that I'm aiming for here. Yeah, I think we're getting somewhere here. I really like seeing the black through there. It just feels framed. Okay, I think I like these Vanimo cabinets. I'm just hoping I can find the room for everything that needs to fit in here. Alright, desperate times call for desperate measures. I moved the door. I also decided as I was picking out appliances that I wanted the matching washer and dryer, and I kind of wanted to just open that up. So yeah, we were doing a lot of opening up basically so that we could make room for the fridge, because I wasn't loving the way the fridge and the stove and everything were fitting together. So I thought that this would work better to move the fridge there. Yeah, not 100% on this layout, but trying to make it work with the space that we have. Oh, it is driving me absolutely bonkers that I can't put this exactly where I want. Ugh. I think we're just going to sell the window for now and try to look for different windows at another time. I'm just going to fill in the gaps, and yeah, this is not a well thought out plan. Alright, so I ended up getting doors and windows too. I kind of went a little crazy. I'm not 100% sure on the height of that window. I think it might work better if I get a shorter one, but I'm gonna stew on that one for a bit. I also added new windows in here, new front door, and a new archway. Just kind of bringing in a more modern look overall, and I'm not hating it. I do have to say that I'm not thrilled with the cabinet situation in this game. Needing to find and piece things together so that you can create and fit the space gets a little frustrating and led to all of this because I couldn't quite get everything in place. I wanted the fridge over here, but when I was doing that, there would be these little gaps, and the whole idea seems to be a very finished off look, and having that gap just kind of felt so wrong. Also, have to say that somehow through all of this, I have actually, I think, gone up in the money that's in my wallet. I'm really not sure how that happened, but I'm not going to complain about it. But yeah, all right, I'm just going to finish up this entryway, some kind of tiling, and probably a light of some sort. Oh, actually, I think there is a light in here. Yeah. All right, so we're just going to tile the entryway, the floor, and figure out some kind of finish for the walls, and then we're going to wrap it up. All right, that was actually pretty quick. I saw this tile, which feels very busy, but I thought it would work well in a small space like this, and then I just topped it off with a white paint to kind of, contrast the blue that's inside. So if we walked in, this is what we would see. Obviously wanted to throw in a little way for people to take off their shoes. There was the perfect spot here for it, so that worked out well. The white on white is a bit intense, but I actually think I like it. And yeah, not a lot of pattern going on once we get in here other than this rug, but I think in time a lot of that will happen as I decorate and design a little bit more. I'm debating bringing a bigger table in because we do have the space for it. I like the chairs, but I'm not thrilled about the table, and I think that would be fun to open that up. It definitely needs something here. And window treatments would be wonderful as well. Just things to kind of warm up the space a bit, bring in a bit more of this gray to kind of bring the color scheme together. Overall, I'm actually pretty happy with how it turned out. I want to say that the kitchen turned out better than I expected because I was kind of doubting my idea, but I think the white and the blue are really just kind of all playing well together with the black, and I don't know, I kind of love it. What do you guys think? Let me know. Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful day and keep on being perfectly you.